איך היה? How was it?
It was beautiful.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, the young people, the men, women,
Okay.
do a lot of dancing.
Ah, also dancing.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought.
a lot of
all
dancing.
Oh, I thought they
Yeah.
were singing.
No,
Oh,
they dance and they sing, and they. Yeah, it was a beautiful show.
Yeah, you enjoyed
People,
it?
yeah, they even did the my Yiddish mama.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
He sang.
In Russian too?
What?
They sang in Russian?
No, in Hebrew.
No.
Yeah.
No, the orchestra, I mean the choir sang in Hebrew or?
Well, this was the Jewish, what's his name? The actor.
Yeah, Dudu Fisher.
Dudu Fisher.
Yeah. And
I saw him many times in New York.
Oh,
In the
okay.
States.
Really?
Yeah.
He performed there?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
performed in the States a lot of times.
Oh, okay.
So he sang the.
He sings beautifully, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
My Yiddish mama.
Yeah. And the choir, I mean, the Red Army
Choir was
choir.
nice, and the youngsters, the men and women are very young and bright,
Yeah.
and energetic, and
Really?
it was a lot of life in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people enjoy it. My daughter called me. She wanted to go to Tel Aviv. I think they're going to have another show.
Who? Marsha?
No, Natalie.
Natalie?
Natalie, yeah.
She called you for what?
She wanted to know how
How it was?
how it was, if we enjoyed it,
Mm-hmm.
But I never missed shows in the United States.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So.
What other shows did you see in United States? I mean, like Israeli or something like that.
Just about every show that came to the
What
States.
do you remember? Give me an example.
I remember most of them.
Yeah?
Yeah. Sure, I never tried to miss any shows because Israel was
in your heart.
Yeah. Israel was not a stranger to me. We had many people. I belonged to the Hashomer Hatzayir, and we had lectures about Israeli history, and it was forbidden by the Polish religion.
Yeah.
But I kept the notes from the meetings.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then there was somebody that was from the Revizionisten. He turned it into the to the principal.
Wait, what?
The Polish principal.
When you was what? Like 15 in Rimanov?
Yeah.
You're talking about Rimanov. Okay.
So he
turned you in?
He called me. He called me to the office because they didn't suggest recommend. They didn't recommend using it.
The principal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was the teacher or one of the principals.
Why it was forbidden? I mean, for everyone to.
No,
why?
they had the religion. They had. One was a Catholic priest, the Goyim.
Okay.
And one was a Jewish religious woman.
Okay.
She taught Jewish religion.
Okay. So.
But it wasn't about Israel. Was not.
It was because it was about Israel, not Judaism?
Right.
So you can practice Judaism, but you couldn't talk and learn about Israel? Or it was like
They
Palestine in
didn't
that
want
days?
to promote it, to promote it. See? And I had a notebook with things about Israel, and then they got a hold of it and they called me to the office. And they say, that's a no-no.
Okay. And you stopped?
No,
Not really.
because the teacher was Jewish
Mhm.
for the religion. And actually the teacher, the husband, owned a lumber yard
Okay.
in town.
Okay.
And the partner was the mayor of the town, not Jewish.
Mhm. His partner.
What?
His partner. The teacher's husband partner was the mayor?
No, no.
No, the teacher husband, uh, the teacher husband partner. The partner was the mayor. His partner was the mayor.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So she was. My job was in the lumber yard
Okay.
to keep track of what he is selling, so he doesn't put it in his pocket.
Oh, okay.
So I was trusted.
You were trusted. You were always trusted.
Yeah. So she recommended to her husband to hire me
Uh-huh.
in the office. And he taught me his job was to teach me bookkeeping, you know,
Yeah.
and a lot of other things, you know. So,
Tell me, did your parents ever talk to you, or did you ever talk in the house about Palestine? It was Palestine at that days,
yeah, right.
those days. So, did you ever talked about Palestine? Your feelings
Sure,
about Palestine?
of
What did
course.
your parents? I don't talk about it. I mean, they tried
Palestine
to.
was Israel,
For you, it was always Israel.
always Israel.
Okay.
And they had in Romanov, in my hometown, you had probably more than 2,000 Jewish people in Poland
Yeah.
going on going to Israel to
Oh,
live
to live in Israel before it was Israel.
before Israel. One of them happened to be an uncle. He's still here.
Okay. Since then.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was working for my another uncle. They were making the shoe upper part.
Yeah.
He had a factory in his home, and Moshe Weinstein was his name. Weinstein.
Very Jewish name.
Well, Weinstein is the background because my mother's name is Weinstein.
Oh, okay.
Her father was Weinstein.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he made Aliyah, you know, before the war.
Mm-hmm.
And there were always big ceremonies in the Jewish community. If people left Poland and went to Palestine at the time. Yeah.
What did you know? What did you know about Palestine at that time? I mean, what did you hear?
I was reading the forwards. I was getting the Jewish newspaper,
Okay.
and I was reading to my aunt. My aunt, she liked the paper, but it was easier if I was reading it to her. And there were stories about what was going on in Palestine.
What was going on? What did you know? What did you hear about what's going on in Palestine?
Well, I think
It was like the 30s, 1930s,
yeah.
okay.
Before the war
Before the
started.
war, yeah.
Before the war,
Yeah.
before the Germans invaded Poland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you hear about what was going on here? What did you know about
Well,
Palestine?
we kept in touch with the relatives and friends from our hometown. There were at least more than 20 members that left Romanov
For Palestine, for Israel.
For Israel, yeah. So Israel was baked in, you know,
Okay.
in it,
Uh-huh.
and felt very good about Israel.
Was it became become was it became a dream of yours to reach Israel or Jerusalem? I mean,
Well, I was
was
not,
it only on your thoughts, the Israel or Jerusalem, or it was like something more practical to in the future to go to Israel? I mean,
it was very popular to go to Palestine at the time, yeah. And they were, when the war came,
mm-hmm.
and many Jews went were going to on a ship to Palestine, and they were stopped and put on an island. I don't know, you know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, in Cyprus. Yeah.
In Cyprus, yeah. So we kept in touch, and I was working for the Mizrahi at the time.
Yeah.
And Mizrahi was a Zionist religious organization, you know, but modern religious.
Yeah, more liberal.
What?
More liberal.
Yeah. And I joined, and my uncle was older, of course, and he was part of the organization. And the reason I joined, our mother died in Poland when the war started. And in order to have a place to have religious services, you had to have a Jewish organization where they davened in Hebrew, in say Kaddish. So I joined the Mizrahi, and in the Mizrahi they started giving me jobs to conduct the services. So when we came to the camps after the war
in Austria,
and they had Jewish services there, I would be the one
to conduct
the service. So this was my uncle was second hand to the famous rabbi in town. He was very educated. Yeah, he was very educated in Jewish, in Hebrew. Yeah. And he survived the war, and he was in Lvov, in Poland. No, Israel was always
on your mind.
Yeah, but from Romanov, you had at least 25 to 30
people who made an aliyah to Israel.
Made aliyah, yeah. And they joined kibbutzim at the time. See? And my uncle, my mother's brother, he joined. He had a good job with my uncle doing the shoe upper part, and they became a farmer.
In the kibbutz.
In the kibbutz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was going.
Yes.
Not up or down. It was going. The change was. Yeah.
Dramatic. For him.
Yeah. But he went, and then he kept in touch with us all the time. So it's not whether we liked it today or tomorrow. It was in our mind, built in always. Yeah. and there were people. There were furniture makers. They made special kind of furniture for the kibbutzim.
Your uncle?
No,
Who?
somebody else in town.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a shop where they bought lumber.
Now you're talking about Poland or Israel?
Poland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They made special kind of furniture that would last a long time, and it was so when people went to Palestine, they took it with them. Some of that furniture,
Mm.
yeah, which is a wardrobe, to hang your clothes, and it was made out of hardwood. Sosna, they call it. It's a hardwood.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was made by
So they took it with them. What for? For them
to use it.
privately, or
Yeah,
not to
privately.
sell it to some. Not, okay.
No. But was it intended someday to maybe make it a business out of it because they were very. It was made very careful. It was done. They did a good job. See? But we had aliyahs almost every year, where people from Romanov would pack up and go to Palestine at the time. Yeah.
Is it ever crossed your mind to make an aliyah to Israel? I mean, was it any, did you have any thought about going to Israel to make an aliyah in any?
Well, I was a youngster before them. I was 10
Yeah, I
years
know.
old.
No, I mean after the war, like 45, 46, after Austria. Did it cross your mind
No,
to
see,
do that?
it became very difficult to cross the borders going to Palestine. The English, they captured the boats and put them on an island in Cyprus. So it wasn't easy to go to Palestine after the war. And the English, they kept an eye. They didn't want Jews to go to Palestine.
But many Jewish people succeeded in,
Well,
getting in the country.
they had to smuggle,
Right.
but they wound up in Cyprus. A lot of
Some of them, yeah.
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 It was in the papers. I was reading the forwards. See,
Yeah.
the forwards to me was easy to read. Even my aunt, she read the forwards, but not as perfect as I did. She would ask me to read it for her.
Yeah.
Because.
So you knew exactly what's going on.
Oh, sure.
That people
because
were,
we knew
sheep saints.
We had the relatives that left when the war ended. They live here in Israel.
And after you shut down the business, the furniture business, have you ever, thought about making an aliyah, or you had only this, emotional connection with Israel, but you never thought about, coming here? How was it?
I don't know. There were different things that you tried to do to settle down and do what's right, But Israel was always. I always listened and learned. I know certain things in Yiddish, in Polish. Arza Alinu. Arza.
You know what it means?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to Israel, Palestine.
Right.
Arza Alinu, Arza Alinu, Arzali.
Who taught you the songs?
The Zionist organization.
Mm.
I was a member of the Shomer Atzayer.
Yeah.
They were very active
So,
about
so you had
Palestine.
meetings,
Yeah.
and they taught you some Israeli
Well, sure.
songs,
They talked
Hebrew.
about Israeli politics
Oh,
all the way back before Palestine.
they tried to convince you to make an aliyah.
Yeah, sure.
They did.
They encouraged it. Yeah. So
So some of the people
yeah.
were convinced, and
They had it in the Polish language.
Mhm.
Is Jedziemy do Palestiny.
Mm.
You know what that means?
No.
We're going to Israel
Are you
in
going
the
to-
Polish language.
Okay.
Już zaszali, zaorali, ale nie zebrali. Alcali, no, that goes.
Yeah.
They sang it in the Polish language. I still know it today. In Yiddish, in Polish.
Your memory is still working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Ganeres Israel, I'm going to, you know. Yushashani Zarali, Aliyashanya Zabrali. That means they seeded it to land, and it was going to be a harvest. It was a big deal when they harvested the land in Palestine. We were getting all the news that they were doing well,
You heard about the
working on the
war of '48. You heard about the war of '48 after Israel was announced as a state. So
Sure.
you knew about the war
Sure.
that's going on.
We were back in Poland at the time.
Yeah.
No?
I think you were in the States.
Yeah, but we heard
You heard.
it in Russia. We kept in touch. I wrote letters in Yiddish to my uncle. He was in Tel Aviv at the time. He was working in a kibbutz. Yeah.
So he told you about the war and what's going on.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. We always kept in touch, and we always knew what was going on, and the forwards reported it
Also.
in the Yiddish paper.
Mm-hmm.
My aunt, she liked the forwards,
Yeah.
but she was not good in the Yiddish,
Mm-hmm.
so she would ask me
To read it for her.
to read it to her.
When was the first time that you came to Israel? When was it? You remember?
Well, we came first. My brother made Aliyah.
Bernie.
Yeah,
Bernie.
yeah.
And that is, he lived here for what? Couple of years, and
Yeah.
then you asked him to come to Kenosha.
No, first I went.
You came here.
I came to Israel
You remember this time that you came to Israel?
Yeah,
Tell
sure.
me about it.
because we had all the relatives. We still have relatives here in
Rehovot.
in Rehovot. Yeah, this is my father's brothers.
Yeah. The children.
What?
The children.
The children.
Yeah.
But he came. He was still alive. He survived the war.
Okay.
He survived it in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And my aunt, the whole family, and the children. Yeah. So we always kept in touch with them. And we used to send packages because there were shortages
Right.
of food here.
Uh-huh.
So I would go, usually sugar was a good item.
So you send them food.
Food, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then I came to Israel and I visited with them, you know.
Yeah. You remember when was it? What around what? It was like the 60s,
Yeah,
around
yeah,
the 60s,
yeah.
1960s.
But it was always the news about Palestine or Israel, what you call, was read and discussed, and we watched the TV. They had the news about it because we kept in touch when the English confiscated the shipments
Oh.
and put them on Cyprus, you know.
Yeah, but
So a lot
that
of
was
them,
before the states.
yeah,
That Israel became a
yeah.
state. Yeah.
So there was a lot of them that went to Israel and wound up taken on Cyprus. Yeah. So that we kept in touch every day. Yeah. So Israel was never out of mind, you know. But the reason we went to the United States, one of the uncles that came in the
From New York. He lived in New York.
he lived in New York,
Yeah.
and he was illiterate. He never went to school in Poland.
But he conducted a business. He had a business.
He started out as a serving cars, and then he became an automobile dealer, and he was illiterate. He couldn't read or write. And he wrote, I kept in touch, writing to him, because he didn't write English. In Yiddish, he didn't know, so I would write the Yiddish letters, and he would have somebody
To translate
it. And he said, if you stay, and if you want to open up a business in Austria, he was willing to send several $1,000 at the time. That was a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the government after the war in Austria did not allow refugees to open up businesses.
Okay.
You could do it in Germany.
Not in Austria.
No. In Austria, I was doing it, but it was not kosher. It was not legitimate. I would get shipments. There were religious Jews that would make trips to Austria, to different countries.
To do what?
They were able to make contact and bring in all kinds of supplies, food supplies. And they would have a big warehouse in Salzburg. And I happened to know somebody from my hometown that was a member of the group. And they would offer to sell different items that were looked forward in Austria. But it came in as food for the refugees, but it was not food for refugees.
Oh, they sold it to the other.
Some rabbis went to Luxembourg, to different countries in the Middle East. They arranged carloads of food to come. So I would go to the stores for sugar or for other things. I finally was in the paper, Mendel, the sugar king.
Really?
I got caught
You
because
got,
somebody got caught in Salzburg,
yeah,
and somehow they connected me.
to him.
So
So,
what happened was my father went to the Jewish police in camp, and he says, "Can you do something?" He says, "It's going to cost a certain amount of money." And he's got friends at the police station, and he'll make it.
you have to pay them?
What?
That you have to pay them
Well,
to bribe them?
yeah, sure.
And
You pay, you give him the money,
yeah.
and he takes care of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they saw me.
Actually, it's like today.
What?
It's not different than today.
No,
No,
nothing
they're
is
the
different.
same.
Yeah.
Nothing changed. Yeah.
So they used to see me. They knew that I was dealing in sugar and other things. And Mendel, how is business? They knew I was doing it, but they knew I wasn't. It wasn't a crime
Uh-huh.
to me, because
So a part of making these things as a survivor.
yeah.
Did you like it?
The
Did you
what?
did you like it? Did you like it? I mean,
No,
did you? No, I mean, did you
it was
like?
against the law to do it.
No, I mean, did you like to be like a salesman, to sell things, to buy
Well,
things, to be active as a
I was well known in town,
yeah.
and then they would ask me, "We need this, we need that. Can you get it?" And I would get a hold of it and sold it. They paid me. I even made arrangements with some of the wholesale places in town, in Steyr.
Yeah.
We lived in Steyr.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and they would store it for me. I could bring a truckload of sugar or some other things, and they would put it in the warehouse. And I would go to different stores and sell 100 kilo here, 100 kilo there, and give them a note, and they would go to the wholesale place and pick it up.
So you were a businessman
I
from the
know
beginning.
it was
I mean,
a black market.
yeah, yeah. But you knew how to deal with it.
What?
You knew how to deal with it.
I know.
I mean, you knew what to do.
Sure, because I knew the people, and they knew what I was doing, and they didn't. It was okay. See, all they wanted to do is get the merchandise, and they didn't know. They didn't care how I got it, But they knew I didn't steal it.
Hmm.
Couldn't steal it.
Yeah.
But there were religious people that were able to make trips overseas and make contacts
Yeah.
and bring in a lot of goods. Among them, sugar was one big item.
Sugar
Yeah, I used to send sugar
to Israel.
to Israel. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So being a businessman was like very natural to you. So when you came to the States, I mean, it was kind of, like, very natural things to do to open a business and to run a business.
Yeah.
And
Well, the idea was their uncle in Kenosha, Wisconsin,
yeah,
owned a building,
yeah.
and he used to have, he used to sell some merchandise
Mhm.
from there, but he was not a good businessman. So he said, you can have the building.
But how did he know that you will be successful? I mean, why did he told you, Manny, take the business, start a business? How did he know that you're going to succeed? I mean,
Because
why
we,
you? Why didn't he go to Eddie and told Eddie like?
because I was very active in the business in Kenosha, where we came from.
Oh.
Yeah, originally. Yeah.
So he remembered that you were very active and good
And I would
at what you did.
I would correspond with Uncle Abe, who was illiterate.
Yeah.
In Poland, you didn't
Yeah.
have to go to school
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you told me.
at that age.
Yeah.
My father didn't go to school.
But you did
I
for
did.
some years.
Yeah.
Yes.
I finished 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like college educated almost.
So maybe he did. Maybe he heard about you in, your actions in New York with your other uh, uncle.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to think why your uncle from Kenosha asked you to take the business. Why didn't he offer it to when he was in Israel at that time, right?
Yeah.
When you came to Kenosha, Bernie was in Israel.
Yeah.
So why didn't he offer it to Eddie? So I suppose they heard about your actions in New York and because
I kept in touch with the
and that's okay.
with the relatives here.
Okay, okay. Eddie didn't.
In New York. See, we had another uncle that left Poland before the war.
Mhm.
You know why he left Poland?
Why did he leave? He leave?
They were registering.
Registering?
They were looking for help to go on a ship to travel to New York from Poland.
Mhm.
And from Poland, he had to go to Luxembourg.
Why did they decide to go to New York at that time? It was before the
They
war.
were looking for help.
But it was before the war.
Before the war.
Before the war.
Yeah, yeah.
What, they sensed that something is going to happen,
They were looking for Jewish people to sign up.
Oh, okay.
You know, as a job.
Okay.
And they were like one of them went to New York, and he would call on businesses there.
Oh.
And he would.
He wanted the Jewish people to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in New York, they had a Jewish area. At one time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It was all Jewish.
So they wanted Jewish workers.
They wanted people, to promote business bringing in from Europe. But it was not legitimate. It
wasn't legitimate?
No. Like he was traveling on a ship.
Okay.
So he was able to get a certain amount of merchandise on the ship.
Oh.
When he came to New York, he unloaded it and sold it. It was a little black market business,
It was a big, big black market. I suppose not just for the Jewish people, also for the Irish and the Italians.
Yeah, but
in New York.
There was a Jewish area, especially in New York, that you could. A lot of them dealt in gold and diamonds. See. So if you have any gold, you could go and find somebody that would give you a fair price because it went by weight or quality,
Carrots.
What?
Carrots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was not kosher, you had to do it underhanded. Yeah. But nobody got in trouble, But New York was very Jewish. But when I started working in New York, it was a regular merchant that he was dealing with people all over New York State. It was a legitimate business, but he wanted,
Legitimate.
yeah, but he wanted me to fill the orders, take it to Rockefeller Center, which was the post office, the main post office.
What were you talking about? Diamonds? What are you talking
No.
about? What did he say?
This was about custom jewelry.
Jewelry.
They call it custom jewelry.
Okay.
It's not high.
I'll bring you some water. What? Where are the glasses?
In the cabinet.
Here? Here. Okay.
See, like that Jaime. Jaime is the one, my mother's brother.
Okay.
And he lived in New York too.
Mm-hmm.
And he made a.
So he dealt with diamonds? One
No.
of them made with
No,
cars
he was a fisherman.
and the other one fisherman, right?
He would go and buy at the fish market.
Yes.
It was
you
the
told me.
largest in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the other uncle from Kenosha asked you to come to Kenosha. You had another uncle
Yeah.
who lived in Kenosha,
Yeah.
in Kenosha, yeah?
Yeah.
And he asked you to come,
Yeah.
offer you to come to Kenosha to run a business.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gave you a place. He offered you
It
a place.
was an old building,
Yes.
and with a lot of schmatters.
Yeah.
You know what schmatters
Yes, I know.
are? So
We still use this word.
the what?
We still use this word. When I see, clothes, I said to my daughter, oh, this is schmatters. Throw it. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that we go through after the war, and you find how you can make $1 or whatever,
And you knew how to do it. I mean, from the beginning, from the time you were in Rimanov, when you.
In Romanov, we didn't do it much.
No, I mean you help your parents to run the gasoline station.
Yeah.
You help your father to do it, right?
Yeah.
You were only like 15.
We had 2 gasoline.
Yeah, you had 2, kerosene and gasoline, right?
The what?
Kerosene.
No.
And
both stations were gasoline.
oh, okay.
One was in the resort,
Mm-hmm.
and one was in town.
Yeah, you told me. So what I'm talking about is that you, from the beginning, from when you were like 15, you ran businesses. I mean, you helped your father.
But I also knew how the competitors tried to stop it.
Yeah.
So there was a woman, Yenta. Her name was Ayenta.
Yente, okay.
And she would sell by the can, 5 liter, maybe 10 liter, And she didn't like to see my father getting the franchise to have a gasoline station. So she wrote to the factory that my father is not reliable.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, she was a neighbor?
No, she was she had a store across from where the gasoline
Oh,
station
okay.
came up.
Okay.
She didn't want to, she didn't like to see the gasoline station coming up
Hmm.
because this would take away.
Some of her.
She was selling it by the can,
Hmm.
5 liter.
Well, she started this business and you came after.
No, she
I don't-
didn't start. She just said it. She would buy a barrel of gasoline and then sell
And you
it.
opened the station, the
And
gasoline
we opened
station.
the station, but we had to have permission from the city to build
Hmm.
a tank in the ground
Yeah,
because that's where they,
yeah. It's like today, yeah.
yeah,
Also,
the gasoline had to go
yeah, into the ground.
into the ground. Yeah.
So what? She wrote what?
She
The
wrote
government.
that my father is not a responsible man.
So what happened?
He shouldn't get
The permit.
the franchise.
Okay,
It's a franchise.
it's a franchise. So what happened after she wrote this letter?
Well, we had to get good lawyers, deal with good lawyers. You know,
Uh-huh.
they had to minimize what she said was not true.
Somebody had to do it, I think. שלום.
את לא מרשה. מה
עוד לא.
שלומך?
בסדר, מה שלומך?
הכל טוב.
You like the doorman?
Of course.
אבל איך חוש הומור?
You what?
You have a sense of humor. That's what I'm saying.
He's working with my daughter.
I know. I met him before. Yeah.
היית פה בטיפול משהו, נכון?
מה?
היית פה בטיפול. אני זוכר שאמרת, אחד הולך, אחד בא, משהו כזה.
כן, לא, אבל אני לא בטיפול, אני רק מדברת איתו.
אוקיי.
זה לא טיפול, זה
זה-
סוג של.
הכי כיף לך.
מאוד. כי נורא מעניין מה שהוא מספר לי. ממש, יש סיפור חיים מדהים. I'm telling him that you have an extraordinary life story.
Uh-huh.
That I'm interested in what you have to tell.
Uh-huh.
So it's,
כתוב, הוא מושב זקנים
He comes from a shtetl. You know what a shtetl is?
no.
A small town in Poland. A Stuart is a big city.
Yes.
A shtetl is a small.
I'm not disturbing you. Where is מרשה?
היא כנראה למעלה. מרשה? Okay.
Yeah,
Let me help you.
I need a napkin.
Yeah, for me, take one.
Thank you. Yeah, everything you learn in life.
Yeah. Especially when you have to.
See,
Because-
we went to see the Russian show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, maybe I'll go and see it also because you told me that you enjoyed it very
Well,
much. So,
A lot of dancing. They were young. They're all young men and women, and there is a lot of music, and a lot of life.
so you liked it. Maybe
Well-
I'll go too. Maybe I'll go too.
I think there is going to be one now in Tel
Yeah, I'll
Aviv.
check. I'll
Yeah.
check. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So my
Right.
daughter, she
Yeah, I'll
lives
ask
there.
Marsha.
Yeah.
I'll ask her. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I can look in the internet,
Yeah,
to see. Yeah.
my other daughter was asking about it. Natalie.
Oh, Natalie.
Yeah.
I think they perform also in the States.
No,
Maybe she can go.
I don't know.
I
No,
think they.
she lives here.
No, Natalie lives in Wisconsin,
Yeah,
in the States.
yeah.
Natalie.
Uh-huh.
Marsha is here. Yeah,
I realize, yeah.
yeah. Maybe when she will come to Israel, I can meet her. Because I heard so much about her that I don't know her. Maybe she knows me.
She
Because she
does.
sees me in the,
She
in
is
the
a very
computer.
intelligent young woman. Yeah,
she's a teacher, you told me.
yeah.
right?
She was a teacher, she got all the interviews for me when I spoke
Yeah.
in the different schools, and she guided it,
Mhm.
you know. So she knows a lot of things, and she handled between me and Marsha to come here.
To Israel.
Yeah, because when I got sick and she thought this would be the best solution if I could stay with Marsha. Yeah.
You know, you did a very brave thing in coming to Israel. You know, it's not easy to leave what you know and the place that you lived all your life, and to leave it behind and come to a new place, no language, almost no language, you know, strange. It is very, you know, brave to do it. I admire it.
No, I look forward to come to Israel because
Like Abraham Avinu.
Then he says like our father Abraham, who
Yeah.
came to Israel, you know. I'll call Marsha to tell her that he's here. Marsha? Marsha?
I don't know if she saw him.
יש פה... החתיך הזה הגיע, כן. היא בפנים. כן.
See, but
הוא יצא לחצר.
when people
הוא בחצר.
talk about you, they think of you next to God.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
they feel you are,
What people?
well, the people that we know in the area.
Christian?
Yeah. What? No, Jewish.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, they heard about your name and.
About me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So you are very famous.
Really? Where? Where am I famous?
In Israel.
In Israel. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay.
But all I found out,
אוקיי. אנחנו מסיימים, סיימנו.
יכולים להמשיך.
מעניין, לא שמעת את כל הסיפור, זה הכי מעניין.
see what I say.
I'm telling him that your life story is very, very interesting.
Is it?
Yes.
Evidently it is.
Yeah.
To you. But you know.
For me, it's an history.
Yeah.
It's history.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not. It's another area of history.
Yeah. Okay, we will stop here.
Yeah.
Let them do what they have to do. מה, אתה מעצב או מה אתה?
אני חבר של... אני עוזר להם בבנייה. אני פה במסגרת?
לא, אני מכפר הנגיד. כפר הנגיד...
אני מאביעד בטון.
כן. בטח, רואים תמיד את ה... בסדר, מה נשמע? טוב, אני אשאיר אתכם פה בענייני בנייה. אוקיי.
לא, אני רציתי לקצר אותך.
מה?
הגיע הזמן.
כן.